Starting next week on August 17th, there will be two big changes to impact the real estate industry that are specific to home buyers. Number one, a buyer's representation agreement will need to be in place prior to any private home showings or tours. What does this mean for you? Well, you can still go to open houses without having an agreement in place, but if you would like to schedule a private showing of a home with a realtor, we will need to sit down and go over a 6-page agreement together beforehand. Now, you may ask, why? This is a result of the recent NAR Lawsuit Settlement requiring upfront disclosures of the real estate professional and client working relationship. The agreement outlines the services being offered, the duration of the contract, and how a real estate professional is compensated. For me, this has been a business standard of mine and a requirement of my brokerage since I obtained my license in 2020. So, in reality, it won't change much in the way that I do business. Number two, offers of compensation will no longer be advertised on the MLS. What does this mean for the buyer? Well, when you find a home that you want to make an offer on, you and your agent will work together to negotiate the terms of the offer, and this negotiation will include your agent's compensation. In the past, these negotiations were typically done in advance and on a separate agreement between the listing agent brokerage and the buyer's agent brokerage. With this real-time conversation that you're going to be having with your agent, you as the buyer will be aware of your agent's compensation throughout the process. No surprises. In most cases, we are able to negotiate compensation with the seller, and the buyer does not need to come out of pocket any additional money. However, in the rare case that we are not able to negotiate the buyer's agent compensation from the seller, or maybe not the full amount, you, as the buyer, may need to be prepared with these additional funds. Now for my sellers, what does this mean for you? Agent compensation is not going away, despite what some headlines may have you thinking. It has always been and will continue to be negotiable. Do you have to pay a buyer's agent? No, you don't. But then again, you never had to. I always advise, and most sellers choose, to pay a buyer's agent as a way to stay competitive in the eye of a home buyer. Think about it. We are currently having a housing affordability crisis in our country. Most buyers, especially first-time home buyers, barely have the money for a down payment and closing costs. On top of these costs, they'll also have moving expenses. By offering to pay for their agent's services, you are, one, increasing your marketability, thereby increasing your buyer pool, and you're also ensuring that the transaction reaches the closing table smoothly because you know that the buyer is coming with professional representation. And don't even get me started on how messy this process can be when a buyer chooses to go it alone. So there you have it. These are the two big changes to hit the real estate industry next week on August 17th. Changes that I think are improving our industry by ensuring more transparency for all parties. It is more important now than ever that if you plan on buying a home in the next 12 months, you start interviewing agents now, because otherwise what's going to happen is you will be rushing into a relationship with that internet agent that you found on the Zillow listing that you just couldn't wait to see. So if you need a list of questions that you should be asking a real estate agent, or if you want to talk about your home journey with me, please reach out. I would love to chat.